How could faithless electors cause a constitutional crisis? Imagine a scenario where the outcome of a United States presidential election hinges on the votes of electors in the Electoral College. These electors are expected to cast their votes in accordance with the popular vote results in their respective states. However, sometimes electors choose to vote differently from the candidate they pledged to support. These individuals are known as faithless electors. Faithless electors can pose a significant challenge to the electoral process because their actions may alter the final tally of electoral votes. If enough faithless electors cast votes contrary to their state's popular vote, it could change the outcome of the election. This situation becomes especially critical in close elections where the electoral vote count is very narrow. For example, if a candidate is just a few electoral votes away from winning, a small number of faithless electors could tip the scales. The potential for a crisis arises when the number of faithless electors is sufficient to prevent any candidate from securing a clear majority of the electoral votes. According to the Constitution, a candidate must receive at least half of the total electoral votes plus one to be declared the winner. If no candidate reaches this threshold, the election is then decided by the House of Representatives, with each state delegation casting one vote. This process can lead to political deadlock and intense negotiations, especially if the House is divided among different political parties. Furthermore, the existence of faithless electors raises questions about the legitimacy and stability of the electoral process. If electors defy the popular vote, it could undermine public confidence in the democratic system. Legal disputes might also emerge, with states potentially challenging the validity of the electoral votes cast by faithless electors. Such disputes could escalate into broader constitutional conflicts, especially if there is disagreement over whether faithless electors should be penalized or whether their votes should be counted. In some states, laws have been enacted to discourage faithless voting or to penalize electors who do not vote in accordance with their pledge. However, the constitutionality of these laws has been challenged in courts. If courts rule that electors can vote freely without penalty, the risk of faithless electors influencing the outcome increases. Overall, faithless electors have the potential to cause a constitutional crisis by disrupting the normal process of electing a president, especially in tightly contested elections. Their actions could lead to uncertainty, legal battles, and a possible shift of authority from the Electoral College to the legislative branch, challenging the foundational principles of the American electoral system.